The story begins with a woman named Joy, who is talking to her friend on the phone. She opens up about the problems she's been facing with her husband, Derek. In reality, Derek had an extremely violent temper. His anger was so toxic that it slowly turned their relationship into an emotionally painful nightmare. Every time something went wrong, Joy kept hoping Derek would eventually change. That's why she continued forgiving him after every mistake, always giving him one more chance. But the truth was far darker. Derek never changed, and with every passing day, Joy's trust was shattered again and again. One day when Derek came home, he tried to get close to Joy. At first, everything seemed completely normal, and the atmosphere felt calm. But suddenly, over something small, Derek lost control once again. Within seconds, the situation turned terrifying. In a fit of rage, he attacked Joy and even tried to choke her to death. Terrified, Joy somehow managed to escape from his grip and locked herself inside a room. After a long silence filled the house, she finally gathered the courage to slowly open the door. Standing outside was Derek. This time, the anger on his face was gone. Instead, there was an eerie silence and a faint look of regret in his eyes. But the moment Joy looked down, her heart completely shattered. In his rage, Derek had taken away the thing she loved most. He had killed her dog. At that moment, Joy realized Derek had become truly dangerous. Right then and there, she decided to end the relationship forever. During this difficult time, her best friend Carmen stayed by her side. She comforted Joy, supported her, and slowly helped her recover from the trauma. Over the next 6 months, Joy started living alone. She completely cut Derek out of her life. But deep inside, she was still broken. Seeing her condition, Carmen made a big decision. She wanted Joy to escape her painful past and start a new chapter in life. So, Carmen convinced her to join a wilderness therapy retreat. The retreat was run by Dr. Dunley, who specialized in helping emotionally damaged women heal from their trauma. But in the beginning, Joy refused to go. She was still terrified, emotionally shattered, and unable to trust new people or unfamiliar places. Carmen patiently explained that this trip wasn't just a journey. It could be a chance to completely change her life. After a lot of convincing, Joy finally agreed to go. At the retreat, Joy meets another woman named Tara. Tara had also suffered through many hardships in her life and was trying to move on from her own painful past. Soon, the group sets off together toward the Canadian wilderness. Step by step, the journey takes them far away from the noise of the city and deep into the mountains, where nothing exists except nature and silence. When they finally arrive at the trailhead, they meet Dr. Dunley in person. Alongside her is another woman named Sophia, a former Afghanistan war veteran. Sophia had joined this trail for a reason too. She still hadn't recovered from her past experiences. The memories of war continued to haunt her, and she came here hoping to fight the fear and deep trauma still buried inside her. With that, all the women picked up their bags and began the long hike. As they moved deeper into the forest, the atmosphere became quieter and more unsettling. At first, everything seemed normal. Everyone stayed focused on the trail and kept moving forward. But suddenly, they came across a blood-soaked piece of equipment lying on the path. The moment they saw it, everyone froze. A heavy silence filled the air, and for a few seconds, nobody said a word. Then the same thought crossed all their minds. Maybe a bear had attacked someone. Some of the women immediately panicked and said they should turn back right away. That's when Dr. Dunley stepped in and told everyone to stay calm. She explained that the chances of bears being in the area were extremely low, so there was no reason to panic without thinking things through. But during all this, Joy started becoming suspicious. She began to think that maybe Dr. Dunley had placed the bloody item there on purpose to scare them and make the therapy feel more real. In reality, none of that was true. It was simply Joy's fear and distrust starting to take control of her mind. Even with all the confusion, the group continued moving forward, though the suspicion stayed in the back of Joy's mind. By the end of the day, they finally stopped at a safe spot and set up camp. Later that night, Dr. Dunley sat alone listening to the women's pre-recorded interviews. Through those recordings, we learned that every woman in the group had come here carrying some kind of emotional pain and personal struggle. But Carmen was different. She hadn't come for herself. She came only to support Joy and help her through everything. As the night grew darker, everyone went to sleep inside their tents. Joy eventually fell asleep too, but her sleep was anything but peaceful. The moment she closed her eyes, terrifying nightmares began flooding her mind. In her dream, the same horrifying rage she had witnessed on that traumatic night appeared right in front of her again. Slowly, the nightmare became even more disturbing, and from the darkness, she saw a strange creature emerge. Its presence alone was enough to fill her with terror. Joy suddenly woke up in fear, breathing heavily. For a few moments, she couldn't even tell whether what she saw was a dream or reality. But little by little, she realized it had only been a nightmare. Now morning has arrived, and outside, the rest of the group is getting ready to continue their journey. But as the group starts moving deeper into the forest, Joy suddenly begins to feel uneasy. It feels like someone is watching her. However, nobody else seems to notice anything strange, so Joy tries to ignore the feeling. After that, everyone continues traveling farther into the woods. After covering some distance, Dr. Dunley begins a trust exercise to help everyone learn how to rely on each other. In this activity, everyone has to pair up, and one person is blindfolded while the other guides them through the forest. Tara gets paired with Sophia, but Sophia doesn't take the exercise seriously. She keeps fooling around and fails to guide Tara properly. Slowly, Tara starts getting frustrated because she wanted to take the activity seriously. As Sophia continues acting careless, Tara's anger keeps building. Eventually, Tara gets upset, quits the exercise halfway through, and storms off on her own. Meanwhile, Carmen and Joy are also doing their exercise. Joy is blindfolded while Carmen carefully guides her along the path. But suddenly, Joy hears a voice, and it's Derek's voice. The moment she hears it, fear rushes through her body. Without thinking twice, she quickly rips the blindfold off her eyes. Shocked, she stares at Carmen, almost as if asking whether she heard the voice too. But Carmen looks completely normal, like she didn't hear anything at all. And that terrifies Joy even more. Now she becomes convinced that something is seriously wrong with this retreat. Filled with fear and frustration, Joy marches straight to Dr. Dunley and demands answers about what is really happening there. She explains that for the past 6 months, she had never once heard Derek's voice, but ever since arriving at this place, strange things have been happening to her. Dr. Dunley tries to calm her down. Patiently, she explains that all of this is part of the therapy, designed to force them to confront their fears and become mentally stronger from within. But Joy is still angry. She feels like something is being hidden from her, and that suspicion only makes her more anxious. Just then, Carmen pulls Joy away from the group so they can talk in private. She looks at her best friend and asks why she has been acting so strangely. Joy hesitantly opens up and says that she keeps hearing Derek's voice coming from deep inside the forest, almost like somewhere nearby. Hearing this, Carmen suddenly becomes serious, but she interprets it differently. She tells Joy that it could just be the effect of her old trauma. According to Carmen, Joy still hasn't fully escaped the painful memories of her past, and now that fear is manifesting itself through strange voices and unsettling feelings. But Carmen's words hit Joy hard. Instead of feeling understood, she feels like her emotions are simply being brushed aside as trauma. The thought only makes her angrier, and without saying another word, she walks away. Meanwhile, on the other side of the forest, Tara is smoking a cigarette to calm her cravings. But the moment she takes a drag, an uneasy feeling suddenly washes over her. Little by little, the fear grows stronger, and she starts feeling as if someone is lurking nearby in the woods. Just then, Joy arrives. One look at Tara's terrified expression, and she immediately realizes something is wrong. Worried, Joy asks her what happened. After calming down a bit, Tara nervously admits that she started having the same old hallucinations again, the ones that used to haunt her before. Hearing this makes Joy pause for a moment, but she tries to comfort Tara and keep her from panicking further. After that, the two of them continue moving forward with the group. But now, the atmosphere no longer feels light. Deep down, everyone has started feeling an unsettling sense of fear. As they continue walking, Tara talks to Dr. Dunley about her hallucinations. Suddenly, Joy hears Derek's voice again. The moment she hears it, she freezes in place. But within seconds, the voice disappears. And then Carmen calls out to her. Hearing Carmen's voice snaps Joy back to reality, and silently, she continues walking with the others. Soon, the group reaches a narrow natural pathway formed between massive rocks. Everyone else is busy taking in the strange beauty of the place, but Joy can't focus on any of it. Her mind is still trapped in that disturbing feeling. Then the voices start again. This time, they unsettled her even more. Carmen calls her name, and Joy quickly looks around once more, almost as if she's trying to make sure nobody is secretly watching them. A little later, the group arrives at a riverside and stops there to rest. During the break, Joy questions Dr. Dunley about the retreat. Suspicion and anxiety are still clear in her voice. In a calm tone, Dr. Dunley explains that her greatest fear is any of her patients getting hurt. That's why she carefully chose this location, a place she believed would be both safe and ideal for therapy. Her words help ease the tension slightly. But deep inside, everyone still feels that lingering uneasiness. Just then, Sophia reminds everyone that they need to keep moving and find a good place to set up camp. Hearing this, the group starts walking again. But during the hike, Joy and Karen fall behind for a while. Taking advantage of the moment, Joy tries to make peace with her friend. She tells Carmen to stay with her whenever she goes to the bathroom. Slowly, the tension between them starts to ease, and by 9:58 they're even joking around again. But then Carmen jokingly says something that really upsets Joy. Annoyed, Joy tells her to head back to the group while she stays behind alone. As Carmen walks back toward the others, she suddenly gets the strange feeling that someone is watching her. At the very same time, Joy, now completely alone, begins to feel it too. It feels like someone is hiding deep in the woods, secretly watching them. At first, Joy thinks Karen might just be trying to scare her. But when she looks around, Carmen is nowhere to be seen. That's when real fear starts to sink in. She becomes convinced that a stranger is nearby. And then suddenly, she spots Derek standing deep inside the forest. But the second she tries to focus on him, he disappears without a trace, like he was never there at all. The sight terrifies her even more. Her breathing becomes rapid, her heart pounds violently, and it feels like her throat is closing up. The fear and panic become so overwhelming that Joy suffers a full panic attack. At that moment, Carmen rushes back and helps calm her down. She brings Joy back to the group where everyone tries to comfort her. Once she settles down a little, Joy tells the group about what she saw in the woods. Derek. Hearing this, Tara hesitantly admits that she also felt something strange out there, like something was seriously wrong in the forest. Meanwhile, Sophia carefully seals all the food supplies inside a bag so the scent won't attract any wild animals lurking nearby. After that, Dr. Dunley tries talking to Joy to better understand what she's going through and help calm her down. But Joy hates the fact that everyone is discussing her situation. It makes her feel judged. Even so, she holds herself back, stays quiet, and lets the conversation continue. Later, everyone prepares to sleep. Joy eventually falls asleep, but she has another horrifying nightmare. In the dream, Derek is floating above her in midair. Terrified, she suddenly screams and grabs her lantern before rushing out of the tent. She unexpectedly runs into Tara and Carmen, who are outside collecting firewood. Slowly, the three of them sit together, and the tension in the air finally starts to calm down. They begin talking, opening up about themselves and sharing personal stories. During the conversation, Joy hesitantly reveals the nightmare she had the night before, a dark shadow hovering over her while she slept. Tara is immediately shocked because she had the exact same dream. At that moment, all three of them begin to realize that something strange is happening in this place. Terrified, they decide that tonight they'll all sleep together in the same tent. The next morning, Sophia wakes everyone up by banging pots and pans together. Joy gets up, but quickly notices that Tara is nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, Sophia's scream echoes from the riverside nearby. Hearing it, everyone panics and rushes toward the sound. When they arrive, they discover that all the food they had carefully stored away is completely gone. Carmen immediately becomes suspicious and suggests that Tara might have taken it since she disappeared early in the morning. Dr. Dunley pauses for a moment and theorizes that Tara may have suffered another psychological episode. With that thought in mind, Dr. Dunley heads alone into the forest to search for Tara, but as she moves deeper into the woods, she too begins experiencing disturbing hallucinations, just like Tara and Joy did earlier. A few moments later, the entire group hears Dr. Dunley let out a horrifying scream. Sophia instantly sprints toward the direction of the sound, while Joy and Carmen follow close behind, desperately trying to find her. As they move deeper through the forest, they notice strange symbols carved into the trees, traces of bear spray and blood scattered across the ground. The horrifying sight slowly causes Sophia to lose control. Her fear and past trauma begin flooding back all at once, and without thinking, she rushes off alone to find Dr. Dunley. Moving quickly, she climbs onto a large rock ahead of her. Then suddenly, her eyes lock onto something horrifying: a half-eaten human leg lying on the ground nearby. The gruesome sight completely breaks her mentally, triggering intense hallucinations. She starts feeling as if she's back on the battlefield once again. Overwhelmed by panic and confusion, she loses focus for a split second. Her foot slips, and before she can react, she loses her balance and falls straight off the cliff. Seeing this, Joy and Carmen panic and rush toward the edge of the cliff. But when they look down, Sophia is nowhere to be seen. Their fear only grows stronger. Trapped between terror and desperation, the two decide they have no choice but to climb down and search for her immediately. But when they finally reach the bottom, Sophia is nowhere to be found. The only thing they see are bloodstains splattered all over the rocky walls. The horrifying sight sends an even deeper wave of fear through them. Still, they gather their courage and keep moving forward. A few moments later, they notice a cave nearby. They exchange nervous looks before carefully deciding to step inside. The second they enter, they spot more blood trails leading deeper into the darkness. Their fear grows stronger, but stopping is no longer an option. As they move further inside, the atmosphere becomes even more terrifying. And then suddenly, they see Tara locked inside a wooden cage. Shocked, Joy and Carmen immediately rush toward her and begin trying to free her. Tara looks extremely weak, barely conscious. Struggling to speak, she warns them that there's something else inside the cave with them. Her warning makes the entire place feel even more terrifying, but Carmen refuses to give up. She knows they still need to find the others, so she decides to keep moving deeper into the cave on her own. A little farther ahead, she finally spots Dr. Dunley, and for a brief moment she feels relieved. But that relief doesn't last long. Out of nowhere, a horrifying monster appears and drags Dr. Dunley back into the darkness. Carmen freezes in terror, but quickly realizes the creature is now coming after her too. As she runs, she screams at Joy and Tara, telling them to get out immediately. Seconds later, Carmen finds herself face to face with the monster. Terrified, she slowly backs away. And as the light finally hits the creature, she sees its true form clearly for the first time. The sight is absolutely horrifying. Panicking, Carmen keeps stepping backward until she reaches the edge of a cave exit, and without thinking twice, she jumps straight into the water below. During the fall, she badly injured her leg. But even through the pain, she refuses to give up. Fighting to survive, she manages to swim toward the riverbank. That's when she spots Joy and Tara nearby. Relieved, she signals for them to come closer. But her relief vanishes instantly when she sees the same terrifying monster standing right behind them. With all her strength, Carmen screams a warning. The moment Joy and Tara realize the danger, they turn and run for their lives without wasting a single second. Terrified, the three girls run with every ounce of strength they have and somehow manage to reach the water. There, they spot another wooden cage submerged inside the lake. Swimming as fast as they can, they make their way to the cage and hide inside it, hoping the monster won't be able to find them. For a few moments, everything stays quiet. But then the terrifying creature suddenly appears right above them. Luckily, they are underwater, so it can't reach them. After searching for a while, the monster finally gives up and leaves. Once it's gone, the girls breathe a small sigh of relief. But that relief doesn't last long. Tara realizes she won't survive much longer because of her condition. So she makes a heartbreaking decision. She will go outside and distract the creature so the other two can escape. Carmen and Joy try to stop her, but Tara refuses to change her mind. Without looking back, she steps out and sacrifices herself in front of the monster. After Tara's sacrifice, the creature heads back toward the cave. Seeing their chance, Joy and Carmen quickly climb out of the water. But as soon as they stop for a moment, Joy notices Carmen's wound is still bleeding badly. Realizing they need to treat it immediately, the two somehow make their way back to the tent. The moment they arrive, they begin treating Carmen's injuries because her condition is getting worse by the minute. Meanwhile, darkness slowly takes over the forest once again, making the atmosphere even more terrifying. After finishing the treatment, they decide to check outside and make sure the creature isn't nearby. Joy carefully steps out first and scans the area. For a moment, everything seems safe. But the second Carmen comes out of the tent, Joy looks up and freezes in horror. The same terrifying creature is hanging directly above Carmen. Joy is completely paralyzed with fear, and before she can react, the creature grabs Carmen along with the entire tent and drags her away. Carmen screams helplessly while Joy chases after them. But soon, Joy realizes following it directly is pointless. That's when she makes a dangerous decision. She decides to go back into the same cave where this nightmare began. Carefully, without making a sound, Joy enters the cave so the creature won't notice her. Inside, she discovers a narrow tunnel, and from deep within it, she can hear Carmen screaming for help. Hearing those screams, Joy crawls through the tight tunnel. Along the way, she even finds Sophia's severed head lying on the ground. Horrified, she forces herself to keep moving because saving her friend is the only thing that matters now. Finally, she reaches a large chamber where the creature is standing in front of a cage with Carmen trapped inside. At that moment, Joy starts hallucinating again, seeing the creature in a distorted and terrifying form. But this time, she doesn't let fear control her. She pulls out her pocket knife and attacks the creature with all her strength. Then Joy quickly uses bear spray, temporarily weakening the monster. Taking advantage of the moment, Joy rushes forward and frees Carmen from the cage. Supporting her injured friend, she helps her escape the cave. Before leaving, Joy pulls out her lighter, starts a fire, and throws it toward the creature. Flames instantly spread across its body, sending the monster into a frenzy. Using this final opportunity, the two girls finally escape the cave and keep running without ever looking back. After surviving an entire night filled with pain, fear, and non-stop terror, they finally make it back to their car. With this, the story ends here. Subscribe to this channel for more stories like this.